Hey, I'm Trey Rentz, and this is my friend
Joseph Coveney.
And this is another episode number 7, the golden number to some people. I don't know why, though, of Rennie and Doc, the best show on YouTube rated by the people of the world.
The world.
YouTube contacted me, and they said, you're doing a great bang-up job. And I said, well, hey, guys,
keep going.
I got a partner here, too. He's doing a great job, too. They said, well, yeah, you're both doing 50-50 equal great, and we want to give you a prize, but we can't tell anybody publicly.
Yeah.
It has to be this under-the-table thing. So I feel I shouldn't say anything. I feel bad. I know it was a secret, but, well, I have something on my mind.
Yeah.
That I've thought about for many years, and I'd like to see where you are on this. Daylight savings time is tomorrow. Why the hell are we still doing that?
I mean, wondered
what
the
the
same
hell?
thing. Yeah. It's silly. I just woke up this morning and I don't know why, but I was looking at my calendar and I saw that there was a little, there's a little mark for holidays and stuff. And I was like, what's going on there?
Yeah.
I clicked it and it said daylight savings. And I went, great. I got to get up an hour earlier on Monday. That's great.
It's just, is it every year, or every year we spring forward, and then in the fall we fall back. I don't mind the fall back, but at the same time, why do we have to go through this whole charade of
I don't know,
mixing up life?
A couple of years ago, they were talking like they were going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
And I got very excited. Well, I say a couple of years, probably like 4 years ago.
That's under the same umbrella as when they talked about getting rid of the penny, which I was fine because I hadn't carried around cash.
Old people wouldn't like that.
Well, boy, nickel and dime. If we could stop at the 5, why don't we go by 5 increments? I mean, why do we need the little dinky 1s and 2s and 3s? But no,
it's funny because people will nitpick about getting if you owe them 32 cents back at a register, they're not going to take 30 cents.
Right.
But if they saw 7 pennies on a sidewalk, they'd probably just walk past it.
I don't know. I have to be honest with you. Friday, I picked up a penny.
I pick up change.
Now, I'm not a luck guy. I don't believe in luck. Or do I? I don't know. But I saw a penny, and it was heads up, because that's the goal,
Yeah.
the thing that you look for. It was heads up. I thought,
all day long.
I got it. I picked it up. I got it around here somewhere in my penny pot. But no, I was thinking today, I was going through the calendar too, and it sneaks up on me every single freaking time, and I just don't get it. Now, luckily, it's on Sunday, which I don't know if you have to work, but I don't have to work.
I don't have to work on Sunday.
But
but that's like getting up an hour early on Monday. That sucks.
It is, but the buffer day helps. Not being
What's
on
the point?
They say it's like, well, it's to save daylight, and I don't know why that has to be. Why can't we just? It's 7, and it's winter. Now we know it's going to get dark at this time.
Yeah.
Like, does it take that much computing power to figure that out?
Not
No,
at
we
all.
have to change the entire system of timekeeping.
Yeah.
Just because you can't tell when it's going to get dark.
It's dark
outside.
out, isn't it? 10 o'clock?
Oh, okay. So I just had to get that. It really does. It bugs me.
Me too.
Except in the fall. I'm fine with that. I take the extra hour. That's fine. I don't know if it registers in my sleep, but I'm sure it does in some sort of subconscious factor. But I thought we get into some videos, but I thought since yesterday, last episode's topic was so heavy.
It was heavy.
Oh, I can barely hold it.
A spoonful weighs a ton.
Yes. So I thought we would just do something else and not matter so much, but I don't.
Is that me? That's me. Oh,
We'll keep going.
Lord.
Just turn it off. I don't want to even mess with the stupid thing. But I figure as Joe figures out his phone, is it still recording?
Nope.
Good.
It is now.
Okay, so now we're going to figure out something. All right, so I figured we watched some videos. I don't even know what I got a few things here.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of time. So here's the first one. I think this is something about getting comeuppance. Guy beats a homeless man, gets instant. Oh, right in the face.
Whoa.
Now he's out.
Yeah.
Now you're going to sleep. Now we're talking. He'll wake up after. He'll have to wake up an hour early now because of daylight savings time. Imagine getting kicked in the face. Now I think that he had no. I don't think he had any shoes on.
Boy, I'm professional.
I feel, and we're back. Technical difficulties. Thy name is me. So.
No, I do enjoy the instant karma.
Right, I like
videos.
that kind of stuff. All right, so this seemed really interesting, but I don't know if there's something wrong with this guy.
Brian, who lost his eye to cancer. But that didn't stop him, as he then created a prosthetic eye with a built-in flashlight that does not heat up and can be turned on for 20 hours, which is truly incredible.
Doesn't that give you a headache?
Kano wins. That is freaky, though.
Oh. I gotta say, that would be very convenient in a lot of different ways. Except for, I mean, not having the other eye would throw you off pretty hard, but I did think that was...
wear a headlamp.
You could, but if your eye is a lamp, then what do you need the headlamp for, is what I might ask. Boy, I can never find the stupid mouse. All right,
the weirdest thing was when he blinked and you could see the light shining through the lid.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. What else we got? Oh, you're a tech, not a tech guy, but like a technical kind of guy. These are very crazy to me. I mean, this is how they film stuff.
Oh, that's insane.
But you'd imagine that thing weighs 100-something pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But the man can carry it because of this contraption.
You know, on Aliens, the chick that had the big machine gun, short-haired chick.
Oh yeah, the Hispanic chick.
They used an '80s one of those to have that machine gun mounted on. They used just a camera gimbal.
Right. Which I assume this is more advanced.
I'm sure it is. That's
but
insane.
It is amazing. I mean, this is, for anybody watching that doesn't know, this is how they film stuff and keep it level, keep it from bumping, and the average human, just little tremor things you have in your body just without.
I've never seen one with a camera rig that big, though.
It is very big. So what do you think that's for?
It's just the Steadicam.
No, I don't know that, but the camera, being like, because some of those, like the IMAX, I heard, is very big.
Very big.
And unwieldy, as they would say.
I remember I watched a thing that, I want to say Avatar, but that was...
Avatar?
Avatar.
As Arnold would say.
Some movie that did 3D, they wanted to have IMAX, and they had to make a whole rig because the cameras wouldn't sit close enough to each other to film in 3D.
That sounds like a Nolan thing to me.
It might be. And then they had to build this rig with like mirrors and stuff so that they came up and they could line it up close enough. Good. Because the cameras were so big, they wouldn't. It was too.
That does sound separated. Nolan. I feel like that he has said stuff like that where they've had to literally throw money into R&D just to figure out.
I know
this
they
thing.
did on Oppenheimer.
Oh, I haven't seen.
I haven't seen it either, but they did. I did watch a little behind the scenes thing, and they did some close-ups, like when he's stressed out, they would film him really close, and the background was kind of like jiggly.
Right.
What they did was they took photos of the set, and then they projected it back onto the set, and then they would wiggle the projection.
Smart.
And so it's all in camera.
And he's very well known as not liking to use visual effects. I mean, digital effects. You got to hand it to him. But also, I might beg the question: you could just 5 minutes. But no, I got to have it. We're gonna take a week. Take a bunch of pictures. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I can't imagine the headache of trying to do that. Like line up the projector where it worked, and then.
Well, with technology the way it is, I'm sure that it's more easy to do now than it was in the 40s. Yeah. Like you see how they paint. I'm sure you see where they do paintings on glass, and they'll do 3 paintings like on cartoons, and then they'll move. It looks like you're moving. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Now we can do it in like 2 seconds.
I know.
But this was interesting. This came up, and who knows if this actually works, but if it does, it's going to have huge ramifications in the mental health type things.
Dorian introduced me to wave neuroscience. We scan your brain waves, and then from there, we can use a technology called MERT, which is a magnet, and the AI will give you a precision approach to rewiring your brain. So it uses a magnet to pull those firing neurons down the correct path. So they're using it mainly to treat athletes with depression from concussions and brain injuries.
Have you done this?
Yeah,
I want to do it.
It's sick.
I want to find out what's going on in my brain.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't know either.
Because as effed up as my brain is, I don't know that I want somebody to fix it.
Well, when he first said it and they said magnetism, I thought, how are your neurons magnetized? But also, I haven't done brain science and brain surgery in a long time. I'm out of practice. So I can't really say what they've had in advancements in recent years.
Your brain is firing like electronically.
Sure, but that's not magnets, is it? I understand electricity. But just because the TV or the lights that have electricity, they're not magnetized necessarily. But is magnetism a form of electricity? I don't understand this.
I don't either. I remember when I don't know if this is true, but I remember when I was a kid, my dad, when I would have an extension cord and I was using it, my dad would say, "Don't use it while it's rolled up," because I would unroll just the minimum I needed.
Yeah.
And he said,
"This is my I don't know."
Yeah,
Look.
well, like I said, I don't know if it's true, but he would
sounds like
said,
a wives' tale.
Like the coil could be dangerous or something.
The coil. I don't mean to besmirch your dad's.
Well, I mean,
thing,
like I said,
that sounds like
I don't really
hoopla.
know much about electronics. When I was a kid, I had a plastic toy lightsaber that used 3C batteries, which shouldn't be able to shock you, right?
I don't know.
It's nothing, but I don't know what it is. There's like some. I know nothing about electronics.
Well, if you lick a battery, it shocks you. So
I know,
could-
but
could
I had
buy
taken it
that.
apart, and there was this little box in there with coiled copper wire around it.
Oh, like a conductor? Is that what that is?
I thought that
should
was
be
Ringo
smarter than
Starr
I am.
on-
You know,
on
I
Thomas the Tank Engine.
I like to put forward the idea in my own head that I've got some pretty good sharp smarts.
Really showing my butt here.
But that makes no sense to me. Electricity is hard.
Yeah.
I understand plumbing. It's water and it flows downhill or rolls or whatever they say the saying is. But
Anyway,
no, that stuff.
I don't
Anyway.
know anything about magnetism or electronics. So,
But you do know something about your little prop there. I got to point out his little prop there. He's got some props. He made that, so I got to give him kudos. I don't have the time and the wherewithal. I wanted to bring up this today. It just on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
We have had this debate, and the reason this come up. The reason it came up in my brain is that Zack Snyder was on Rogan the other day.
Okay.
And like 2 days ago. And I like him as a director. I like most of his movies.
Too.
But that reminded me of our little debate. And I don't know where we stood on it. I remember where I stood on it. But this little friendly debate about Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I put forward, and I stand by it, that Superman is the saddest character in comparison to people go, oh, Batman, his parents died, and he's full of rage, and he's always sitting in his house, and then he sees the bat signal, he's like, I finally have a reason. And he's like the sad character. But I submit that Superman is the sadder character between the two because, let me make my points. Whole planet died.
Yeah.
Who was on that planet?
His parents.
Everything he knew and his parents.
Yeah.
Second, comes to Earth alone.
Yeah.
Finds some parents. Great. Then his dad dies.
Yeah.
That's the third parent now that he's dead. So he goes to work. His dad and his mom teach him, you need to help people, do that stuff, all save the people. He goes to work at the Daily Planet. He goes and he saves all these people. Now, he can't save everybody. That's the problem. He wants to save, and he could save a lot of people.
Yeah.
Can't save everybody.
No.
Couldn't in the first movie. Dad has a heart attack. Couldn't save him. Nothing he
Yeah.
could do. All these powers.
Yeah.
Can't save him. Nothing I could do. All these people in the whole world dying. He can only save some.
Yeah.
But then he can't do it all the time. Or can he? See,
do
you ever have a life? I want to find love. I want to find happiness, but I have to save all these people.
You would feel guilty if you sat down and ate dinner and then you saw the news that there was a train wreck.
You don't have to see it. He hears it, Joe.
I mean,
he hears
I'm
all the
trying to-
screams.
I'm trying to create a scenario where he
Right.
wouldn't, like he's enjoying a meal. he doesn't know anything's happening.
Right.
Then he finds out, like,
maybe
in Australia.
Maybe that's my fourth point, is that he's always hearing the screams and the pleas of the world. Superman, where are you? Superman, where are
I'm taking a dump.
I'm eating dinner. I want to have a relaxing night at home with the candles in the bathtub and the music.
Yeah.
But they're screaming, I'm dying. And a matter of fact, one of the I want to play a clip. It's a little bit long. We'll cut it off whenever you want to. But one of the best things that I've seen of this thing, and one of my favorite scenes of this movie, is this scene.
Oh, yeah.
And this basically conveys the idea that no matter what he does to help people, everybody's going, what does this guy want? What is he's like all this chipper chapper about, oh, is he doing the right thing? Oh no, he's doing whatever he wants. Like he's his own
and it would
police.
be even worse in real life than the movies.
Oh, I'm sure.
Believe in a higher power, and every religion believes in some
I don't know if this will get us kicked off YouTube, but who cares?
Actually comes
Yeah.
to Earth, we want to make him abide
But this is the visual that I was talking about on
yeah.
the episode that got failed.
We have to start thinking beyond politics.
That is such an awesome visual to me.
On this earth, every act is a political act. Is it really surprising?
Is that the Aurora?
Yep.
Borealis.
World should be a figure of controversy.
To have an individual engaging.
But it just portrays this debate about, do we trust this person that's saving everybody?
The government would definitely be doing that.
Well, even the people.
Oh, yeah.
There's another scene. Well, we get the idea. There's another scene that when he comes to the Capitol to go in front of Congress to say, I'm just trying to do my best. And there's a whole bunch of protesters that saying, oh, we don't belong here. What are you doing? And all he does is just save people.
Yeah.
So, and therefore, in conclusion, Superman, I believe, is the most sad character.
Well, I can't speak for what we've debated in the past. I don't know that
I don't remember where you stood
disagreed
either.
with you. But
I feel like you like, because you always like Batman.
I like
more.
Batman more. I feel like he's a more complex character, but that's not necessarily just for the basis of the idea of the character, but how he's usually portrayed in comics and media.
In what way?
I feel like he's got more struggle.
Oh boy. Oh, you gotta
I'm
describe
talking
it.
about writing, not the like an ideal.
Not the character itself.
Yeah. Like, especially in the comic books, they're very.
I'm not saying he doesn't have his struggles, because he is just a man doing what a man can, as a man could do.
He's definitely more tragic.
Oh boy.
Because
this is
not Batman, not Batman.
Oh, Superman. I think so too.
Because even though he was so young that he wouldn't remember his birth parents, he would know that he had lost them.
Well,
and his whole society's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are things I think about. The fake characters that somebody else wrote, and I think about the morality, or not the morality, but the sadness of a character that doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, I think about my ancestors and stuff, and I think like what do I not know? Like, and what was lost?
You think a lot about that? I never think
do.
about that. Interesting. What is your conclusion with that?
I don't know.
You're Irish. You eat a lot of potatoes.
I do a lot of looking into Irish folklore and history and stuff.
Like the Blarney Stone. What was that? I don't know what it means. It is fun to say, Blarney.
Blarney. This is Batman versus Superman that we just watched. I haven't seen that in so long.
His visuals are just so fantastic, and it's this montage, so he's able to do, different shots that don't necessarily pertain to the story, but pertains to the idea that they're talking about.
I think some of his like montage things are like even like the Watchmen and stuff are some of the best. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again.
Say it.
He, along with who did Guardians?
Slappy McGee or Snappy McGee.
Who did Guardians of the Galaxy?
James Gunn.
He along with James Gunn are like masters of using
the
already re-recorded songs. In soundtracks like perfectly.
Right.
I just
I give that more to James Gunn. Snyder does some he will do some off kilter.
Just by using the Watchmen alone,
yeah,
I will submit.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I guess another thing that I was thinking about, that I think about sometimes when I think about this subject, especially when it comes to superheroes and comic books and whatever, something I don't like, and it's a trend, especially the new Joker movie is coming out, and I thought the same thing when the old one came out, is the the idea. I don't like. I like classic stories where there's a pretty clear-cut villain,
yeah,
and a pretty clear-cut hero. Now, I can go a little bit off the beaten path there, but like with the Thanos character,
yeah,
you kind of get his understanding, and he thinks he's the hero. But when people idealize characters like the Joker, which I have a thing with, because the Joker is a character that's complete chaos. I mean, he literally, his brain is just, he has no reason to do it.
Yeah.
Other than, like there's no reasoning.
It's a weird concept.
They put a moral, like, class welfare reasoning to the Joker, and I think, you don't have to. Some people are just crazy.
That's true.
I mean, you don't like to think about it. And some things, some crazy you can't fix.
True.
Even though I'd like to say that you could.
I never watched The Joker.
It makes you. I want to stand up and slap you across the gullet.
I'd rather you do that than me have to sit through that movie.
I will say this. It was fine. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I'm not looking forward to the new one because you know what? It's got elements of a musical. They're going to do a musical piece, at least one piece, maybe more.
Isn't Lady Gaga in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, see.
Oh, and he danced?
On the stairs?
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with a little bit of crazy dance, but it looked like he was really trying. Why do I hate everything? I got a problem with a lot of stuff. There's something wrong with my brain function.
It's because we've loved so much, and then they take these things that we loved, and they go, what if it was like this, though?
Like a deconstruction or something.
Yeah.
I
didn't watch the movie, but it seemed like it was trying really hard to be like a independent, like art house film. Like, oh, it's so deep.
Well, there was some pieces like he had, instead of him laughing and thinking things were funny, it was kind of an interesting idea to make it like, and he couldn't control it, like it was a involuntary type of. I don't know if you know. I don't even know if that's real. Maybe if I find it, I'll put it up on the screen. But it may be a real thing, involuntary laughing. I don't think so.
I will say that I do laugh in inappropriate scenarios.
Yeah, but that's because you think it's funny. This is a
no.
Since
it's
you
not.
Didn't see
it's
it
because it's just so awkward that it's funny.
Okay, so since you didn't see it, he's literally it's like a spasm. It's not even nothing's happening. It'll just this kind of thing. It's an interesting idea at the very least, and I could give him that, but I don't like it. There's another movie that pops in my head, and you've probably not seen this either. I don't even think I watched it, but there's a Disney character called Maleficent or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bad guy from Sleeping Beauty.
Didn't see it.
Who is just a straight bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
But in this new one, it's like, oh, no, a lot of bad stuff happened, so it's okay that she did all this bad stuff.
Yeah.
No, why? Doesn't basic morality like stand true and go, hey, we know that you didn't mean you got kicked around and stuff, but now we need you to not do that, because if you do that, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Can we not accept those two premises at the same time?
No, I agree.
Why does it have to be separate?
Do you think it's lazy writers, or do you think it's people trying to upend?
It's an excessive amount of empathy. Because it's not your fault, because your dad spanked you and punched you in the face when it's not your fault that you killed and ate that guy when you were 40. Yes, it is. We understand that there was events leading up to that.
Yeah.
But your over empathy
is
going, oh, it's okay. We understand. No, some people that just happens to. You can't uningrain that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. I feel very bad for those those kids especially.
Yeah.
But now you're 40, you killed a guy, you ate his face off, and now we can't let you be with people. Sorry.
Yeah,
and you're not a good guy now.
That kind of goes back to that where I said that I don't like the idea of the magnet thing. Like, for the brain, like fix
right.
all the crap I've been through. I am who I am. And if you could somehow like realign my brain, fix it, then what am I?
Maybe you're a better person. What if you took the 40-year ride? 40-year ride. What if you took the 40-year ride of the 40-year-old that killed the guy and ate the face off, rewire his brain with this little contraption here that we've created?
Yeah, but what
now is a decent person in society.
What does it do to you, though? Like, are you anymore?
I would assume so.
You're built out of your experiences, good or bad.
Well, traumatic brain injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still the same person? Even though it changes your whole...
I don't know. There was that guy in the 1800s he was a railroad worker, and he got that rod that went through his head, and supposedly he lost like all empathy after that because his frontal lobe got destroyed.
So does that him, or is he now a new person? That's an interesting concept.
Well, he's still himself. He's altered.
That's true.
As we all are from events in our lives.
Well, that's true. So maybe it's just it's a extreme physical form of alteration that compressed into one single
but see, to me,
minute.
It's not like it's one thing if you went to therapy to work through problems you had, but if you just like had a magic wand with the magnet thing, rewire it, that's totally different. Like, because you are, maybe you're empathetic because you were treated badly before, and so that's unpleasant. I'll be empathetic. So if you erase all that, like what's left?
So what may I beg this? If you could condense 5 or 6 years of hardcore talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, into 5 minutes of the brain machine, and to get to the same outcome,
but
hypothetically, if it works.
But to me, I've not been to therapy, but to me, therapy is using your own logic, like to wrap your head around. Oh, my hands are dirty.
Disgusting. Cut the episode.
But to think through a problem is you going on a journey, and to use. I mean, I don't know how the magnet thing works, but to me, the magnet thing seems like it's realigning stuff, and you're not really working through it. It's just.
What if I were to tell you that therapy also physically alters the
but you're going through a
synapses?
journey. It's like you cleaning your house versus
Having
hiring a maid to come over while you're at work.
I could see gaining some grit and some stuff like that from that. I could see that. So you're thinking you're learning more than just this thing does a certain thing, fixes this.
Yeah.
But therapy could also fix this, but also has a little tendrils out and fixes some other little things along the way that also are beneficial.
I can't think of another scenario to.
Like, it may make you more giving.
It's like,
because you don't have empathy. You don't have to have empathy to give. You feel the obligation.
Yeah.
But maybe you also feel like you should give you time or money or
I think
something.
that the process is just as important as the outcome. That's what I think.
So you're saying that life is about the journey.
Yes.
Not the ending.
Yeah.
I think that's a good place to go out on, Joe. That Superman conversation turned into something that was meaningful, doesn't it? Maybe that's the whole point of the show, Joe. Is
Superman.
You never know. Superman is the reason for the season. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to have to do some major edits.
Yep, because of me.
Well, I'm not going to blame you, but it is your fault, Joe. So hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this episode of
Rennie and Doc.